tapasya, the one prominent amongst us, the happiness. Today, Bab Dada is seeing all his royal tapasvi children. You are tapasvis and you also have a right to the kingdom. Therefore, you are tapasvi Raj, that is tapasvi kings. Tapasya means to have a right to the kingdom. Tapasya makes you into kings. All of you have become kings, have you not? What fruits does the power of tapasya give? It changes you from being a dependent into those who have a right. That is, it makes you into kings. This is why it has been remembered that you claim the fortune of the kingdom through tapasya. You know, it is a very nice thing that Baba has said, and as we realize this science of Raja Yoga, again becoming a king of one's own self, instead of becoming dependent and succumbing to our own senses, we are ruling our own senses. Baba says how elevated your fortune is. No one throughout the entire cycle can claim such a fortune. Your fortune is so great that you have made the bestower of fortune belong to you. There is no need for each of you to ask for the different types of fortune individually. You have claimed all types of fortune from the bestower of fortune as an inheritance. An inheritance is never asked for, isn't it? It comes over naturally. The bestower of fortune himself has given you all fortune. Tapasya means that the soul says, I am yours and you are mine. This is called tapasya. With the power of this tapasya, you have made the bestower of fortune belong to you. Just by saying, I am yours and yours, you are mine, we are, we are also getting the fortune from Baba. You have made the bestower of fortune belong to you. The Father, the bestower of fortune, also says, I am yours. So, how elevated your fortune is. Together with receiving fortune, you have now also received self sovereignty. The future kingdom of the world depends on self sovereignty. This is why you are Tapasvi Raj. Bap Dada is also pleased seeing all his children who have a right to the kingdom. Do you remember what you said in devotion for many birds in front of Bap Dada? Do you remember or have you forgotten? You said again and again, I am your slave. I am your slave. The father says, my children and slaves, you are the children of the Almighty Authority. And so, does it suit you to be slaves? This is why, instead of I am your slave, what experience did the Father give you? He gave you the experience of I am yours. So, from slaves, you became kings. Naturally, once Anybody receives so much of inheritance and the king is yours own, you naturally become a king by the company of him. Yes, so Baba says, so from slaves, which we had become during devotion times, Baba says, you became kings. You don't become slaves at any time, even now, do you? The old sanskars of being a slave don't ever emerge, do they? Do you become slaves of Maya? Do you become slaves? A king can never be a slave. Your slavery has finished. Has it finished? Or do you sometimes enjoy it? The power of tapasya is very elevated. And what tapasya do you do? Do you labor for tapasya? Bab Dada had told you what tapasya is to celebrate with pleasure. So, first Baba said, tapasya is just saying, I'm yours and yours, you are mine. Now, Baba says, tapasya means to sing and dance very easily, that is all. Is singing and dancing difficult or easy? Is it entertainment or is it labor? It is entertainment, is it not? What do you do when doing tapasya? The instant fruit of tapasya is happiness. What happens in happiness? You dance, do you not? So, tapasya means to dance in happiness and to sing praise of the fathers and your original and eternal form. How great the song is, and how easy it is. For this, you don't need to worry about whether your throat is okay or not. You can constantly sing this song. Continue to dance constant happiness. So, what is the meaning of tapasya? To sing and dance. How easy it is. The head of those who make even tiny mistakes becomes heavy. No one's head should ever get heavy in Brahmin life. Did the heads of those who built the hospital become heavy? The trustees are sitting in front. So, the trustees of the hospital were sitting in front. So, Baba is asking them, are your heads heavy by constructing the hospital? Are your heads heavy? Since the father is Karan Karavan Har, what burden do you have? This is just creating a means of making your fortune by being an instrument. What responsibility do you have? It is when you consider it to be your responsibility instead of the father's that your head becomes heavy. If the Almighty Authority is your companion, would there be heaviness? So you just make a small mistake. When you consider it to be your responsibility, your head becomes heavy. Brahmin life is to dance, sing, and experience pleasure. So Baba says whatever activities Baba is going on in Baba's service, it is him who's getting it done, and we're just instruments. By remembering that we need not to worry about the various challenges, the various steps to be taken, what would be the result. All this is not required because so much of thinking would go into it, and that would make anybody heavy. So Baba says, only sing and dance. I am there. Whether it is service through action or through words, service is a game. Service is nothing else, is not anything else. It is a game. Some games are played with the intellect and some are lighter games, but they are still games. Does your head becomes heavy with an intellectual game? So you are playing all of these games. You are not working, you are playing games. No matter how great a task that requires thinking may be, or work that requires attention may be, for a soul who is Master Almighty Authority, everything is a game. Is it like this? Or do you get tired just doing a little? The majority of you are tireless, but sometimes you get a little tired. Whether it is the treasure of time, thoughts, knowledge, or physical wealth, if you use it with the method of experimentation of yoga, each treasure will continue to increase. So Baba is now taking us into the realm of yoga here. So Baba says, with whatever you have, your time or thoughts or knowledge or physical wealth, use an experiment in it. And the experiment should be yoga, and then we'll find that it will increase. Let's see what Baba says in terms of yoga. In this year of tapasya, you have been experimenting with yoga. What did you experiment with? Experiment with each one of these treasures. How can you experiment? There should be less usage of any treasure, but greater attainment. So Baba is telling the input should be less, but the output should be more. You know, experiment using the method of less labor and greater success. For instance, take time or take thoughts. These are elevated treasures. There should be less use of thoughts, but greater attainment. An ordinary person can experience success or attainment after 2 to 4 minutes of thinking. But you are able to do it in 1 or 2 seconds. So there's so much of time that is saved. There's so much of speed in our purusharth that way. In the Sakar form, Brahma Baba also used to call this less expenditure and greater glorification. I think Baba says, he says, Kam Kharch Bala Nashe. So let there be less expenditure, but there should be 100-fold attainment. What will happen through this? Whatever saving there has been, whether in time or thoughts, you will be able to use the saving accumulated to serve others. So Baba is saying the savings can be used, the energy, the time, the thoughts, hmm, but the physical wealth that is left over can be utilized for serving others. Who is able to give donations and perform charity? Naturally, those who have saved wealth. If you use everything for yourself, if you use them everything that you earn, you cannot give donations or perform charity. This is the experiment of yoga. In less time, there are greater results. With fewer thoughts, there should be greater experiences. Only then can you use all the treasures for others. In this way, use fewer words and actions and attain greater success. Only then would it be called a wonder. What wonder did Babdada perform? What did Baba create in such a short space of time? This is why you say that it has been a wonder. In return of one, you experience multi-million old attainment. And this is why you say Baba performed wonders. Just as the treasures and attainments from Bapdada give greater experiences, in the same way, all of you must experiment with yoga. It is not just a song. Baba, you have performed wonders. You are also those who perform wonders, and you do perform them. What was the result of the majority that was seen during tapasya? So Baba says, 20% in a way, the 20-80 rule, if you have put in 20% of efforts, 80% should be gains. And Baba says that's what is a wonder. So Baba says now, the zeal and enthusiasm of tapasya is good. There is also attention and there is success. But you use the treasures more for yourself. To have experiences yourself is also a good thing, but the year of tapasya has been given for world service as well as for the self. Spread the vibrations of tapasya in the world at a faster speed. Increase the speed of the experiments of yoga in the laboratory of experiences. At the present time, all souls need to experience the transformation of the atmosphere through your powerful vibrations. This is why you must increase these experiments even more. There are many cooperative children here. This cooperation will change into yoga. One variety of yogis is those who are loving and cooperative, this Sahayogi, and the second is those who are cooperative and yogi, and the third is those constant yogis who experiment, that is Prayogi. Now ask yourself, who am I? However, Bapdada has love for all three varieties of children. Many children's vibrations reach Bapdada. There are different varieties of vibrations. Do you know which kind has reached Baba? You are those who understand with the signal, are you not? What is the reason for everything that is happening during the year of Tapasya? You are carrying out huge projects. What is the reason for this? Some think that this is the fruit of Tapasya, whereas others wonder Why all of this is being done during the year of tapasya, Baba receives both types of vibrations. Some people already have an answer, basically. They consider this to be the fruit of tapasya, while the other set of people think why this is being done. So Baba has been receiving both types of vibrations. However, Baba is saying this fast speed of time and the fulfillment of any needs through the vibrations of tapasya are the fruit of the power of tapasya. You will have to eat the fruit, will you not? The drama is showing that tapasya can fulfill all needs easily at the right time. Do you understand? So we're bringing time closer here, and the times coming are good. So Baba says this is also a fruit of tapasya. There cannot be the question, why is this happening? Tapasya means to experience success easily. This is the third thing Baba is saying today. Tapasya means to experience success easily. As you go further, you will experience how the impossible becomes possible so easily. You will experience this more and more. Obstacles are fixed in the drama from the beginning to the end. Those obstacles also give the experience of making the impossible possible. So, obstacles are needed just to know that things are bound to happen. And all of you have become experienced. Therefore, even an obstacle feels like a game. You play football, do you not? What do you do? Only when the ball comes to you do you kick it. If the ball did not come to you, how could you kick it? How could there be a game? This too is a football game. You enjoy playing a game, do you not? Or do you get confused? You try to make the ball come to you so that you can kick it. This game will continue. It is nothing new. The drama shows games and it also brings you complete success. This is the custom and the system of the Brahmin clan. Acha. So shall read one more page. This group has had many chances to become an instrument for any task. To become an instrument with any method means to become a chancellor who takes a chance. In today's world, there are many people who have wealth, but what is the greatest wealth you have that the people of the world do not have? And that is what is needed today by those who are wealthy as well as by those who are poor. What wealth is that? That of peace. How can there be peace? The greatest wealth, sampatti, needed is sympathy. Uh-huh. Sampatti and sympathy. Sympathy is the greatest wealth. Whether rich or poor, today there is no sympathy. The greatest wealth of all is sympathy. Don't give them anything else, but you can make everyone content with sympathy. And your sympathy is the real sympathy because of your relationship of the godly family. It is not temporary sympathy. Sympathy with a family feeling is the greatest sympathy. Everyone is in need of this, and you can give this to everyone. Spiritual sympathy brings fulfillment of body, mind, and wealth. So we'll read this again. Spiritual sympathy brings fulfillment of body, mind, and wealth. Baba will tell you more about this later. To the Tapasvi Raj, elevated souls everywhere, to those who constantly experience elevated success through the experiment of yoga and less expenditure, to those who constantly remain lost in the tapasya of I am yours and you are mine, to those who constantly dance in happiness through tapasya, and those who sing praise of Baba and the Self, to such children from this land and abroad who are embodiments of remembrance, Bab Dadas, love, remembrance, and namaste. Thank you, Baba. So, Baba has discussed very nicely about tapasya, our role in making this yajna go forward by having pure vibrations that emanate everywhere and to do everything in the remembrance that Baba is getting it done. So not to feel heavier, or just be light and perform actions. And come kharch, but zyada fayda. No, success is is multi-million fold times more than the effort that we put in. The effort in terms of our time, thoughts, words, and actions. Okay, just sit in silence for a minute and share the thoughts. Shanti.
Om Shanti, right? So
Yeah, Baji.
Baba gave a very beautiful uh, self-respect. Soman in this Tabasvi Raj, that's Tabasvi King. So like that. So Baba says the true Tapasya is, having that awareness that I am yours and you are mine. So it's not about laboring, but taking it everything easily and joyfully. So, so Baba says, the real tapasya is, just singing and dancing in remembrance. So need to have that constant happiness all the time. And when we experience that constantly, right? So that is really that's the great tapasya, and that's the instant fruit also of tapasya. So basically, Baba would like to see us enjoying singing and dancing, enjoying that tapasya here, right? Not to have any sort of a burden. So Baba is Karan Karavan Maru is doing everything. So I don't need to keep anything on my head and have that heaviness carry all over, right? So Baba would like to make us, set us free without any burden. Just enjoy it. Okay, so Baba say that we said in the path of bhakti that I am your slave, I am your slave. But mm, actually, right, Baba says we are not slaves, right? So we are the kings, right? So
Yeah.
that also changes. Okay, yeah, thank you, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Bhaji.
Om Shanti, brother. Today
Om
the
Shanti, sister.
Murli is very beautiful. So Baba says, tapasya is a chance. Usually, in Laukik, we'll use the word, I become a teacher by choice. Some people will tell, I become teacher by chance. But here, choice and chance. Not because of the choice, today we have become soul or Baba's children, we became by chance. We didn't know that. We were the deities once upon a time. And we were not the lucky souls. So when Baba descended from Parandham, so that this godly knowledge, this divine knowledge, so we got
Yes.
just because of the chance. So that attracted me a lot. And one more, Baba says, we are chancellor. Usually, the chancellor is the word vice chancellor. Usually, they will use in university, very standard
Yes.
and dignified university. But today, Baba says we are chancellor. So today, my Swamana is chancellor. I'll be in that Swaman. So it's very
Mm.
beautiful. Today, Baba explained about tapasya. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Beautiful shadow. By chance, we became chancellors. I like the English to Hindi talk, sampatti and sympathy.
Yeah, and one thing that Baba said in this, yeah, I mean, not just one thing, many things, but yes, one of them is Baba says experiment with yoga, right? So,
Yeah.
um, so that means so less expenditure, greater attainments. Kam karcha bala nashin. Yes, and experiment with yoga. So I was thinking, this yoga, whatever the points at which Baba is giving, it's all practical, right? So we can implement it and then see results. So experiment can also be done solving some sort of problems in personal life or the problems in the world, right? So that can also be solved through this experiment. So, like Baba said, the world, see, we have to do tapasya for the world, right? Um, and that in the world there are so many problems, right? And If we take our life, there will be obstacles. So this experiment can be done to see if there is any changes is happening or not. But how that
mm,
experiment needs to be done is one has to see how this will work on their their problems. There is solution for any every problems in the Murli. But I think when we turn that and then find a way to apply that in our day-to-day problem, right? That's when it really works. Um, so
mm,
right, it's really a wonderful thing. So another thing Baba said is experiment is we also have to think wherever we can reduce the number of thoughts, right? And then see if it works. Uh, and number of words, reducing number of words, reducing actions, and see the results. So this experiment with yoga that Papa says it's that has so much of expansion actually in it, right? So with that you can really spend so much of time exploring in yoga. That itself will engage you a lot throughout the day, day in and day out if required, if one wants to do it. And I'm sure there will be good experience also doing that.
mm.
Yeah, thank you.
So true. So as I saw, as Baiji was sharing, with the increase in prices of fuel going high everywhere, the culture of sharing of vehicles, carpooling is much more these days. So despite whatever kind of little indifferences we have at offices, we still I still happen to take my colleague with me and we happen to spend good time together. It went one step ahead and giving giving a bag to the individual. We were about to go for collection of vegetables, and the other person was not knowing that this is the day for collection of vegetables. So he had not carried any bag with him, and I had an extra one. So I happened to give. I then realized that yes, I could also give. It's just not that I am calling him, but at the same time, I'm able to offer as well, despite whatever uh, I think of a bit of miscommunication or misunderstanding exists. So we really pulled that time together and smoothly out. I personally was saying that the same thing. I though did not consciously experiment on Baba's words like this, but I felt I could do this. So I, you guys should also share your experiences by meditating over tiny things. How can we solve problems of day to day living in this world? And sympathy really plays a big role here. That is one of the greatest sampati, as Baba says.
Om Shanti, Vinod.
Om Shanti Krishna.
Such a journey we have really gone in these past Murlis. And I every day just try to note about one point, what really Baba wants us to do with this word, this thing, tapasya. And as we have already even shared earlier in some earlier Murlis and all, tapasya means actually heating. It is actually generating energy through discipline, deep meditation, or a kind of ethical restraint, simplicity, service, or mindfulness. In that way, when we really restrain and sacrifice, as you also gave a kind of sacrifice which you just underwent, it burns the vices and deepness. That was the main thing, if actually see tapasya really means. That inner fire, it makes your willpower into willingness. And all that struggle which you had, it really becomes what we call it as a power. And then you get clarity. So it is more about purity of thoughts, elevated feelings, soul consciousness, and all. That's what we thought. But this Murli, like where Baba is saying happiness is the fruit of tapasya. Is it the instant fruit or is it a remote fruit? Is still we have to work it out to see. But when the same Murli some days back, it was tapasya means pleasure. So I used to think, how can sitting down like a volcano bhatti, sacrificing myself, renunciating myself, and how can I call that as happiness? Or how can I call that as a life of pleasure? Probably because Brahmin life is a life of pleasure and this pleasure is only experienced in this short confluence age. So the pressure is released and the pleasure is experienced, which we get through tapasya, through self mastery. And today, Baba also says you must know how to draw happiness from tapasya. You must know how to go to that inner source, inner strength, rather than just getting happiness from external validations. So, if suppose from that fire of tapasya from your within, the picture which they show the of a tapasvi, if you see, well seated over there, the face, sign, smiling and calm. So he has gone right down to that inner world and he takes in energy. And it's like a thing of like a bodhitva finds enlightenment under the Bodh Gayatri. We also find self-realization over there. It's such a deep meaning today. But how do we dance? How do we sing? I think that particular uh, the heart of the Murli, which Baba has explained, is what really we need to change. That is, that heaviness is removed. And how do we dance and sing in pleasure from deep penance to deep dancing? I was just thinking about today, Baba has gone one step and told us what is the fruit which you're going to get. So, like, as you said, this also looks like one more experiment of this deep yoga. But Baba is really giving us a varied meaning of tapasya, which if we write down every day what Baba spoke about it, we can really do such experiments with us and see, can we really sing and dance at the end of such a tapasvi kind of meditation? Ancient.
Honestly, sister, what I feel, you know, um, these words like sympathy and sampathy, this beautiful rhyming word that comes out of probably Dadaji also got this as a product of her tapasya. When we are looking at problems, solving problems, and we do not find solutions, and we sit in tapasya, or sooner or later, like whatever we do, 4 to 5 early morning is again a tapasya. Evening meditation is again tapasya. So we have all experienced this. If we have gotten nice ideas and nice solutions, and we would have come out much more stronger, or would have felt Ramanik. I feel this is a dance of mind, and the solutions that come over usually goes takes the problem so far away. It's like really a great time to have had. So I think this is the dance of mind and the singing as well, like the rhyming. You Avyakt Murlis a lot have lot of such things inside. And also you brought up very well the fire of yoga, in which we are burning our old thoughts, memories, increases the jwala of it, the fire of it, the tap of it.
But,
Yeah.
Vinod Bhai, can you equate? See, I'm not trying to go away from the Murli, but can you equate a tapasvi with a dancer? Like I'm talking about, see, here he dances. I know I'm not talking about the hip hop dance. Bab Dada is not mentioning about that over here. But can you equate? See, you had a lovely, powerful, yogful, volcanic, nice meditation. You went to Paramdam. Sometimes you get that something, kind of goes through your body and all that you experience. And that actually doesn't, I don't know, I feel it gives me a state of equanimity. It gives me a state of just sitting in front of Baba and enjoying just his drishti and all. But I never thought it could make me get up and sing and dance. So I'm still trying. The same Murli, there was one more Murli, you should go through that. Tapasya means pleasure. There was a little better, but here Baba has gone honkers. He's just gone to superlative and said you will sing and dance and also. Do you think you can equate the image of a tapasvi? See, just keep that image in front of you to that of a sing and dance and hip and hop. Something I just still couldn't connect.
Mm. Yeah, it's just like,
And just going back to that experiment, so that Baba was saying, right? So I'm sure everybody, when we start the day, there's going to be obstacles coming, right? So different obstacles. So see or take it lightly, and then experiment with it. Like when challenging situation arises, rather than becoming anxious about the situation, right? Then see if you can pause for a while, and then become aware that I'm a soul. Then maintain that awareness for a while, and then handle that situation or hand over that situation to Baba, and then see if you can see the situation as a game, and then see that changes your attitude, your sufferings, and your state of mind. That really, that one experiment that one can do, or another one can be, like when we meet people, right, before even we talk to them, see if you can whatever you want to attain or get from that person. Okay, so experiment. Like, don't immediately ask something or don't immediately say anything before even start. Sit in, stabilize in soul consciousness, and then see that person as a soul, and then send little vibration to him, and then you go and approach or talk or ask what you want to ask, and then see if that makes things better. That's another experiment that we all can practice today and see if it works. Yeah. Om
I'm sure.
Shanti. Thank you.
With Bijit Bhai, I just want to ask you something. I don't know if you have seen in Bhakti and all. It's there even, and I think in Kerala and all, we have seen that. These people in Bhakti, when they sit in front of God and they say, Bhagwan uske andar ghus gaya hai. That energy, they cannot, hold on to it in their body, or the soul cannot hold. They just get up and they dance. And I have heard stories about, I don't know if you know about this, Pittukuli Murugadas, he's called as. He was so crazy after Muruga. He just went out of that particular temple and all. He danced, not knowing his clothes were coming out, this was coming out, nothing, no awareness, just awareness of Muruga and all. So that kind of, because they could not withhold that energy which entered inside. We see even bhakti, whenever jiske andar aisa they say Bhagwan, suddenly they start getting up, and that's not dance, that's actually being one with that energy. We think it is something, we say usko Bhagwan aa gaya. No, it's that he is one with that energy, he's experiencing bliss and he dances. I've seen that. Why I've seen even very close people of mine having that kind, and I've asked them. They said we don't know. It was just like a fountain or something. And that. See, I've heard that. But what I feel, maybe as so much as saying, maybe here Baba is saying the soul dances. You don't dance and all. The soul of 63 births suddenly after tapasvi, maybe it dances. It's not this kind of dance, it's dance, maybe. But it's really a deeper kind of thing. You said experiment. I was just experimenting like this and saying maybe then it has to be something. Really, this needs a good kind of thing to understand. How can I really get up and dance as people used to do in bhakti? Okay.
Vivek Bhaiji says in the chat that happiness is the dance of the head and face. I think Bhaiji means we smile, your face glows. Yeah. So let's sit back and listen to one great song of Baba. This is again on singing and dancing.
खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा,
खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा,
मुश्किलों में भी सदा तू मुस्कुराए जा,
खुद पे भरोसा कर खुदा पे यकीन,
खुद पे भरोसा कर खुदा पे यकीन,
कदमों में कामयाबी तू झुकाए जा,
खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा,
मुश्किलों में भी सदा तू मुस्कुराए जा,
खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा, खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा।
डगर पे जो होके निडर चलते हैं, होके निडर चलते हैं,
सबकी भलाई का ही वो काम करते हैं, हाँ वो काम करते हैं,
नित्य नया वो इतिहास रचते हैं, मर के अमर वो,
मर के अमर है वो कभी नहीं मरते हैं,
नाम सितारों में अपना लिखाए जा,
खुशियों के गीत सदा दिल से गाए जा,
मुश्किलों में भी सदा तू मुस्कुराए जा।
Yeah. Let's have a lovely day filled with tapasya, singing and dancing, and experiencing the company of Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Vinod Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a lovely day.